We hit 10,000 subscribers. I don't even know what to say. Like, I honestly never thought I would hit this milestone. My friends had way more faith in me than I did, but finally happened. And very typically, it was the only day in the last like 3 months I was completely by myself. I was back in London in my flat for the week, and it was the only day that whole week I didn't have any plans. So in the evening or anything, I hit it at like 11 AM. I was just working, I refreshed and just saw 10,000, and it was like amazing, but I'm by myself, like I don't know what to do. But then my friends and family came through. I came home from London on Sunday. Alice bought these huge 10 balloons. She baked me a red velvet vegan cake, and then on Monday my friend sent me this beautiful bouquet of flowers, and then my friend Lee sent me like the best card ever, and everyone has just been so lovely online, and like my heart is very full right now. Like, all the support really means the most to me. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling about this. Let's get into what this video is today. So to celebrate 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to be sharing 10 of my Disney core memories, because I was trying to think of a way to celebrate it, and I'm going to do a giveaway as well, but this is kind of my way of just sharing some of the magic that I've experienced both on and off camera with you guys, and reflecting, I guess, because I'm a very reflective person. And oh yeah, what would a video be without me sipping on some kind of cup? So anyone who's been following for a while knows the Disney parks have been a huge part of my channel, and also Disney in general. I celebrated my 4th birthday in Magic Kingdom actually, but I don't have any memories from that trip. My first core Disney memory comes from when I was 7, so I have shared this before. I feel like a lot of it people who have watched for a while will recognise, but we're just gonna go for it anyway. And the first big Disney core memory came when I was in the Rose and Crown for dinner with my family, and me and my sister were chosen by 2 of the cast members working there to set off the Illuminations fireworks. They took us over to a little station, they gave us these kind of like lightsaber type gadgets, and they gave us a countdown, and we had to press the button, and then when we did that, the fireworks magically illuminated, and we got a certificate. And I remember feeling so special because we'd been chosen out of like everyone. I'm actually surprised we were even there, because the fireworks were at like 9 o'clock, so it was a very late dinner for us. I just couldn't believe these cast members had done that for me, and I actually wrote about that in my CEP cover letter, because I did 2 Disney cultural exchange programs, about how that made me kind of want to be part of the magic, and that kind of progressed as the years went by. My second core memory comes quite a bit later, but I was 19 at this time, and I had just finished a gap year before taking university. I needed to take a year out after school because I was burned out like crazy, and yeah, I needed a reset button. So the end of this whole year was actually going to Disney as part of a trip with my family, and I remember arriving that first day in Magic Kingdom, and it was just a combination of everything I'd worked so hard for that year. I just felt completely myself. I was being myself. I was running around like crazy with my sister. We convinced my parents to let us buy Mickey Mouse ears. They were like, "You're never gonna wear those." Cut to now and I have like 30 pairs. And we went to the confectionery, and I got a huge caramel apple, and I actually like really struggled with eating and like not really having a lot of unhealthy stuff before this, but I kind of fully embraced it when I was at Disney, and that was kind of a start of a really good journey for me. And then we raced down Main Street fueled by sugar, went and rode the carousel, and we met Rapunzel and Tiana, and just did everything just feeling like a little kid. And I remember just feeling so completely perfectly happy in that moment. And I also knew that I was going to university, and that once I did that and I'd been there for a year, I could then apply to work at Disney World. And in the back of my mind, that's what I was thinking about that whole time, like, I need to come back here, I need to work here, this is where I'm supposed to be. So then we cut to core memory number 3, which was me getting accepted to that program. This was December of 2016. I had quite a long application process, like everyone does. You apply in, I applied in July actually, literally like the second day applications opened, and then I found out I got an interview in August and was stunned because I didn't even think I would get that. Had the pre-screen interview, which is like a group situation, in September. Then I got a final interview, and again I was like, what is happening? Why is this actually going to be real? That happened in November, and then we had a long wait, and then December 13th I was at the gym on the row machine trying to focus because I knew that acceptance emails were coming out. Then I saw my phone flash up and say, congratulations, you have been accepted, and I literally screamed and ran out of the gym and was like hyperventilating. I called my mum and I was like, I got it, and she was like, what's your role? And I hadn't even opened the email. All I saw was congratulations, and just knew that I'd been accepted. And it was just like the most perfect feeling, because I'd wanted this for years. I was 16 when I found out about the program, and from then it literally been the whole time like, when can I do this? So to finally have the email and be accepted and know I was going to be a cast member and be part of the magic was just the most amazing feeling. Okay, so core memory number 4 has to come from just a few weeks later, when me and my family celebrated New Year's Eve in Magic Kingdom. We arrived, I went straight to City Hall and got one of those celebration buttons. I put like ICP acceptance, I have it still up over there. I took photos by the cast member door and it was just like the best feeling ever. We got to the Hubcraft fairly early. We watched Elsa turn on the Dreamlights, RIP Dreamlights 2020. We saw the Christmas Castle show with Mickey and Minnie doing some kind of like texting song, which was really weird but still amazing. And then we had the countdown and the fireworks, and we had like the hats and the kind of sound horn things, and it was just the most perfect start to what ended up being a really incredible year. Also, getting to celebrate New Year's Eve in Magic Kingdom is an incredible thing, but I remember also standing around being like, none of these people are drunk, they're all just here because they love Disney, and that's like me, and we're having a great time. And why am I so ridiculously like wholesome? Everyone always says that, but okay, so now we come to core memory number 5. This was a big one. This was the day that I officially became a cast member and did traditions. So everyone who works for Disney goes through a core training class on their first day, and it's going to be a 4-hour class at Disney University. Yes, Disney does have a university at Disney World. So when you complete this class, you learn about the 4 keys of the company: safety, courtesy, show and efficiency, which are the core values that Disney stands for. If you're planning on doing a program where you don't want to have spoilers, just kind of like skip a couple minutes. You learn all about the company, like I said, and then you get these whisper units and you go down into the utilidors, or the tunnels of Magic Kingdom, and you get to walk around. And I saw a lot of things I'm not gonna say because I don't want to like ruin the magic, but I saw a lot of stuff that was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here. Different characters roaming around, the Main Street Band, and then we go up out of the utilidors and then we turned around a corner and then we were on Main Street, and I was losing it because when you arrive for your program around like a Saturday or a Sunday, you have to then wait a few days before you can get in the parks, which just builds the anticipation more. Like, you're on Disney property, you know you're going to the parks, but you can't go yet. So when you finally are there and you see the castle, it's just the most magical, perfect time. So after you walk around the park and observe the 4 keys in action, you then go back to Disney University, and this is when you officially get your name tag. That was just the most amazing thing, hearing Emily, Chelmsford, United Kingdom, seeing my hometown represented, and who knew that like that little piece of plastic could mean so much. Mickey Mouse then came in to test us on what we'd learnt, and they asked a few different questions, and if you answered one of them correctly, you could go up to get a hug from Mickey and receive a little figurine. The question that I answered was, what do we try and create as cast members? And the answer was happiness, which is also what I try to create on this channel, so if you feel like I do that, please give it a thumbs up. Then after we got our name tags, we went back to Disney housing, got changed quickly, and then went into Magic Kingdom for the afternoon/evening. I saw Happily Ever After for the first time, cried obviously, just was with all these new incredible people, with friends who I'm still best friends with now. Fee and Lana and Lucy were there, and it was just the most perfect time. I just can't. And I also love that I have a vlog from that day on my channel, so I can forever go back and relive those memories and just reminisce on the good old days. Okay, now we're going to jump to my second program, because yes, I was lucky enough to work for Disney twice on 2 different cultural exchange programs. So on the second one, there was this day. Obviously traditions and everything was incredible, and getting your costume for the first time was amazing. I have so many other memories that I want to talk about, but this is technical memories. So this one particular day was just perfect, and I can't even explain properly why, but me and a few of my friends went to Epcot for the day, and we basically just wandered around World Showcase, went to all the little shops and saw like the tiaras in the Germany pavilion, I think it was. No, it was the Norway pavilion. Was it? And just explored and hung out and had like a fun time. We then went to Via Napoli, which is the restaurant where they do the half-meter pizza, and we absolutely conquered it. We had every single last piece of it. It was pretty easy, to be honest, between 4 of us. And then after that I got to work at Mouse Gear, which is my favourite place to work. I worked there about 8 or 9 times in my programme. I wasn't placed there, I just traded for it because I loved it so much. And while I was there, 2 of my friends, Kira and Megan, came to visit. I think I was working stocker or like floor support, which is where you basically go around the registers and pick up the go backs, the hangers and the security tags, and it's just like a constant loop of work around the store, and I just love that shift. I remember just being so happy and thinking, wow, this is my life. Like, we literally didn't go on any rides, we just hung out in Epcot and wandered around and had a fun time. Then got to have a lovely shift, like doing what I love, making people happy, and I was completely happy. Oh no, I've just realised that I've actually got 11 memories. Oh well, there's gonna be a bonus one. The other one was like a really quick one. Basically, I got to work at Bonjour Gifts in Fantasyland in Magic Kingdom, and this was right at the end of my program, and it was just a combination of everything. It was like getting to wear a pretty princess costume finally, because I wore a lot of questionable ones. I got to greet little princesses all day, mini bells, people who were going to be our guests, people who were to come, hear about their experiences, hear the Beauty and the Beast music the whole time, smell Gaston's cinnamon roll coming from the tavern. It was just the most perfect time. It's actually one of my longest shifts. I think it was like 10 hours. It went all the way up to the fireworks, and that's another thing, I actually got to watch the fireworks on my shift. The other person working there had seen it a ton of times. She was like, sure, go stand outside, watch the fireworks from Fantasyland. My friend Lois came and we stood together and watched them, and it was just perfect. I was like, how am I watching the fireworks on shift? I'm getting paid to watch Happily Ever After, to wear a princess dress, and just to feel amazing. That is a strong core memory. I just knew I was supposed to be there, and that was kind of like what I meant to do, like make people happy and just be part of the magic and the story. And I'm so cheesy, I'm sorry. Then we come to when I went to Disneyland with Kira after our program had finished. This was kind of crazy. I finished working at Walt Disney at 12:30 a.m. It was like my last ever shift, and then I went back to housing, and then I think I got into bed at maybe like 1:30 after showering, got up at 7:30 the next morning, went to Animal Kingdom, did 4 parks one day, didn't get back to housing until maybe like 11-12 o'clock, packed, got up the next morning early at like maybe 7 a.m, went to the airport, flew across the country to LAX, got on the bus to Disneyland, checked into our hotel, and then went to Disneyland. And it was perfect. Again, I have a vlog for that down below, but it was just, oh, quintessential Disneyland. Like, I'd obviously been in Disney World the whole summer, and I'd effectively done, yeah, I did like 5 parks in the space of 24 hours, maybe? Not quite, 48. I remember everything we saw, we were like, this is so much better than Disney World, and everything we rode, we were like, it's so much better than Disney World. And we just had the best time. We got to go to the Be Our Guest Red Rose Tavern, and we had the great stuff, and we had this amazing sandwich, and everything was just perfect. This is a running theme here. I remember one of the most perfect moments was when the sun set and it was just all glittery and dark, and Main Street came to life, and we went on the carousel, which you can actually see through the castle in Disneyland, which is perfect, on point aesthetic. So we rode that. We then saw obviously the fireworks, which were the Pixar ones at the time, so it's all like Pixar around the buildings of Main Street. And I'm not going to say it was perfect, but it actually was perfect. I need to think of another word. I'm sorry. I'm literally a writer for my living, and yet all I can think of is perfect. Okay, and now the next one comes from when I went to Disneyland Paris that Christmas. So I just done my second program. I started real work, and I remember at the time being like, oh my god, life's going to be so boring and horrible now, and like nothing fun is going to happen ever again. I was very wrong, but we arranged a trip, me and my sister and my mum, and the first day we arrived, actually, like, my mum hadn't been to Disneyland Paris since we were maybe, I think I was like 7 when we last went, so she was really excited. She even wore mouse ears for the occasion, which, big up Tracy, we love to see it. And me and my sister wore these coordinated pink coats with pink ears, and we just looked on point. It was a vibe. We walked into Disneyland Paris as the Christmas parade was passing by. We got to see that. There was snoping on Main Street, and the lines were really short. We went on everything. We then went to Plaza Gardens for dinner, which was the best place at the time. Had this buffet, these amazing chocolate brownie bites, which me and my sister are obsessed with. I think she had like 3 or 4 of them, maybe more. And then after that we got to watch the fireworks, which is how you should end any perfect first day at the parks. I'm sorry if the camera's moved or the lighting has changed, but basically a huge cloud just descended over the sky as I got to number 9, so I took a little break, but here we are continuing with the list, the last 2. So number 9 comes from me and Miss Fiona's trip to Walt Disney World last August. Just the best week of my life probably, but the first day was perfection. I feel like I have a bit of a trend with the first day on trips where I love it so much. I feel like I put everything into it. I'm just deliriously happy, but this one was particularly amazing. So we woke up in our room in Port Orleans Riverside. Already the day was perfect. We woke up at 4 a.m. because jet lag is fun. We then sat in our beds and hummed along 2 different show tunes and played Heads Up, and then I did some dancing for V. Then we got ready for Magic Kingdom. Our outfits were looking on point. It was like that kind of weird time when you can pay for extra morning magic. I don't know if that will ever be a thing again, but basically we could go into the park, we couldn't go on the rides yet, so we basically spent like an hour, maybe more, just on Main Street wandering around, getting Starbucks, feeling overwhelmed, crying, seeing the trolley car show, crying, having an amazing time, crying, before we then had the most perfect day ever. We went on like all the rides. I met with my sister actually, Alice. She'd been working there as a cast member the whole summer, so I hadn't seen her since June. I got to see her working in the Pirates Exit Store gift shop because that was where she was based as a merchandise cast member. We obviously saw Happy Ever After. Like, the weather was immaculate. I got to meet a bunch of viewers. I met some cast members that I used to know. We got free slushies. We had so many treats, huge donut. It was just like the most perfect day all condensed down into one, and I vlogged it. I think I actually called it like the most magical day at Magic Kingdom because it truly was. Like, I don't know if I'll ever have a day that magical again. Yeah, if you want to watch it, link down below. I'm literally doing the Disney point with my link down below. You can take the girl out of Disney. Okay, and then we come to the final, number 10, or maybe 11 if you're counting that bonus one, but the final one, which happened last November. This is when me and my friend Sam went to the Frozen 2 premiere in London. It kind of came about a bit weird. We were at dinner with Lee, another friend of ours, on Wednesday, and Sam mentioned that the premiere was coming that Sunday. He'd previously been to the Toy Story 4 one, so he knew kind of what it was about, and he was tempting me, I have to say. I was a bit about it just because it was November, it was England, it was going to be very cold, and I feel the cold intensely. But I got to Saturday night and I was like, come on, this is Frozen 2, like, you love the Frozen franchise, you have to go. So Sunday morning we got up bright and early, we were on our way to Leicester Square, and then Sam messaged me and was like, change of venue, it's BFI South Bank. So went our way there, got our wristbands, got hot chocolates, tried to stay warm, wandered around, and then finally, after hours of waiting, we were ushered onto the white carpet. This is when things kind of got a bit crazy. They had a little MC kind of warming up the crowd before all these celebrities arrived, and they mentioned that they had some tickets for the screening that night, so you could watch Frozen 2 with the stars before anyone else was going to see it. Sam actually joked earlier in the day, like, imagine if they just let us into the cinema and we got to watch the film. And when the MC said this, I was like, this is written in the stars, we are doing this. So to get into the film, we had to rap spontaneously. And I've never released this clip before because it's so embarrassing, but I guess 10k is as good a time as any to release it, so
give me a little something. Here we go.
Frozen 2 is the place to be. Getting that ticket would fill me with glee.
Oh.
I love summer and I do too. Can we wrap this up? Because I don't have a clue.
Oh, okay. Here's your ticket.
Yeah!
I'm not exactly proud of the rap, but it got me into the cinema. So I got to watch Frozen 2 before anyone else with Idina Menzel, Jonathan Groff, Josh Gad, Jennifer freaking Lee. My new idol. We obviously applauded after every song, and it was just the most perfect magical time. And like, how insane that my now new favourite Disney animated film I got to watch at the premiere with the stars of the film and the people who made it. Mind blown. Again, the vlog will be linked down below because it was a pretty magical time. Like, when I think of this now, there's been so many amazing memories that I've made, and the fact that I've got to share a bunch of them with you guys just makes my heart so full. And also knowing that I've got those vlogs to look back on in years to come, like, those memories will always be there. I can always go back to them and kind of relive what it was like to be young and just having the best time, and just my heart is full. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and please comment down below some of your favourite Disney core memories, because I love hearing your comments and your experiences. Like, that's one of my favourite parts of having this platform, like when people reach out over DM or email, or even just comment saying that my videos made them smile or helped them in some small way. That means a lot to me and makes me very happy. So thank you again for 10k, no matter what part you arrived in. If it was when I was on my first program, which is unlikely, my second program, my story times, my Disney World vlogs from last summer, or even just during lockdown. Again, please let me know, because that would be awesome to hear, and hopefully you'll stick around for what is to come. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now because you will have things to do and lives to get on with. But thank you for sharing mine and being interested in my little corner of the internet. I hope to see you next time. Bye!